He's a Harvard grad civil servant, but his wife is a serial cheater. But he kept quiet about it, and he didn't file for divorce either. Instead, he planned a suicidal death trip to punish his wife's infidelity. He told his wife to pack her bags and accompany him to Maidenfu in Guangxi. The place had been ravaged by cholera. People are displaced from their homes. Walter, a bacteriologist, wanted to help the local refugees as much as possible, but Anna immediately rejected her husband's proposal. In her view, going to that kind of troubled place is no different from courting death. Seeing that her husband had seen through everything, Anna also became self-righteous. She scorned her husband's cruelty and heartlessness. Meanwhile, she hoped Walter would act with gentlemanly grace to allow him and his lover to be truly together. As she spoke these words, Anna felt not a shred of shame, only because her marriage to Walter had been a mistake from the very beginning. Anna was a wealthy heiress from London. She had always yearned for a love that was uniquely hers, but her parents always kept Anna. She saw it as a stepping stone to fame and fortune. Anna was bitter but powerless, so she spent her days going from one party to another, drowning her sorrows. Just then, she met a man who would turn her world upside down. Walter, a bacteriologist, fell head over heels for her. On their second date, he got down on one knee and proposed with all his heart. Walter's voice was nervous and low, tinged with a hint of unease. Anna looked at the awkward but determined man before her, whose eyes were determined, didn't refuse, nor did she immediately agree. She ran home in a fluster. Anna wanted to tell her mother about it, but she overheard that her younger sister was engaged. Overjoyed, her mother didn't forget to complain to her friends that Anna was a burden. Her mother's sarcasm left Anna disheartened. To escape the family pressure and get away from her vain, snobbish mother, Anna rashly accepted Walter's marriage proposal and followed Walter to live in Shanghai. A newly formed marriage is always a joy. When they first arrived in Shanghai, the couple got along reasonably well. However, as time passed, gradually, their personality differences drove a wedge between them. Anna was free-spirited and innocent. She loved to attend lively, glamorous parties. Walter, on the other hand, was quiet and reserved. He was immersed in his work and research all day long. Even their intimate relations, Anna also needed to take the initiative to show affection. As this went on, gradually, loneliness enveloped Anna's heart. To make his wife happy and ease his own loneliness in a foreign land, Walter took the initiative to adapt to her interests. He played cards with her and chatted. He took her to social events he himself disliked. Yet Anna still felt a profound emptiness. Until one evening at a party, Anna got acquainted with a senior official of the consulate in China, Tang Sen. He was handsome, witty, and humorous, easily tugged at Anna's heartstrings. After that, the two began to see each other frequently. It quickly turned into an extramarital affair. The bedroom Walter had meticulously arranged for him also turned into a love nest for their romantic nights together. But when Walter found out, he didn't call her out on the spot. Instead, he gave Anna two options: either go with him into the epidemic zone, or he would file for divorce on grounds of adultery. But Anna, seeing her affair exposed, did not feel guilty at all. Instead, she blamed it all on Walter. If it weren't for how dull and rigid he was, she would never have cheated. Hearing Anna's stubborn, self-justifying words, Walter couldn't believe it. "I never thought there could be a woman so foolish. Foolish enough to interpret a mature man's womanizing advances as love." He told Anna, "I never imagined you were so beyond redemption. Looking back, I was so ridiculous back then. I was so meticulous in trying to please you, even belittling myself, behaving just like any other man you have ever dated, like a total fool. But it was still in vain. So it turns out, all of this was nothing but my own wishful thinking." To make Anna see the truth, Walter compromised. As long as Townsend divorces his wife and marries Anna, he would let them be together. Upon hearing this response, Anna was over the moon. She believed this was her golden opportunity. So she went to find Townsend brimming with confidence. Yet the love Anna dreamed of was doomed to be a mere illusion. He wrongly interpreted the womanizer's casual fling as a solemn oath to marry only his true love. Tang Sen's cold and insincere evasions brought Anna to see the truth behind this so-called love. It was merely her own wishful thinking, and Tang Sen's shameless remarks. Utterly disheartened, Anna returned home and acceded to Walter's demand. Yet Walter remained remarkably calm. Though he didn't understand women, he understood men better than anyone else. And so, the two set out for Maidenfu, a place ravaged by cholera, a journey that would have been a breezy 3-day steamer ride. Walter deliberately took the rough and dangerous mountain road. They were jolted and jostled the whole way in the sedan chair. One wrong move could send them tumbling down the cliff. After a long 2 weeks of travel, they stopped in front of a dilapidated wooden cabin. This would be their home for the next few months. The previous occupant had died of cholera. The house was thick with the lingering odor of sickness. Anna knew the town must must have better places to stay, and this was why her husband had chosen this place, purely as self-punishment. Early the next morning, Walter ventured into the hardest-hit front line. The situation was far worse than he had imagined. The hospital was crowded with patients on the brink of death. The air was thick with the stench of feces and corpses. Even though Walter had mentally prepared himself, he was nonetheless horrified by the nightmarish sight. He quickly composed himself. He threw himself into his work with complete dedication. Yet, as he risked his own life, quietly devoted himself to developing a cure for the virus, Anna harbored not a single worry for him. She was still hung up on Tangson. She even wrote Tangson a letter crying for help. Then she found the town's garrison adjutant, asking him to pass the letter on to Tangson. Coincidentally, the adjutant knew Tangson, and regaled Anna with tales of Tangson's romantic escapades. Tangson was the playboy is involved with many women. His wife is fully aware but turns a deaf ear, because he thinks only second-rate women would be fooled by Tangson. After hearing the adjutant's words, Annie inwardly, suddenly overwhelmed by an inexplicable sense of shame, she hastily said goodbye, fled in panic, in a fit of anger, shred the love letter filled with affection. Perhaps realizing that there was no turning back, Anna attempted to break the ice with Walter, but Walter gave her the cold shoulder. His gaze was forever fixated on thick medical textbooks, or under the microscope. Anna, as beautiful as a rose, had become nothing but a smear of mosquito blood on the wall. Not worth a second of his time. Anna felt utterly stifled by his indifferent attitude, yet she was helpless. Sometime later, a heavily intoxicated Walter pushed open her door. He told Anna the nuns from the small town's convent were eager to meet his affectionate and loyal wife. The remark seemed to mock Anna, or perhaps to mock himself. The next day, Anna followed Walter's advice. Anna visited the convent and orphanage in the small town. This convent was very special, and the convents Anna had seen in England were completely different. There was no ornate decoration, nor priests in splendid attire, only a group of dedicated nuns, and patients in great pain. Everyone was bustling about, fighting for life. Here Anna heard the groans of the patients. She also heard the children singing. The profound theme of life and death kept interweaving endlessly within this cramped courtyard. The Mother Superior told Anna her husband, Dr. Walter, was a man of noble character and great virtue. He had saved countless lives, and he also showed great care for the orphans of the convent. Through the Mother Superior's words, Anna came to see her husband in a new light, the man she had always thought of as dull and unexpressive, the man she dismissed as stubborn and narrow-minded. In that moment, it dawned on Anna how narrow-minded her own thoughts had been. She came to sense the love and compassion her husband had for Fangan's life. That boring, rigid husband of hers was far nobler and braver than she had ever imagined. Recalling the restless extravagance of the past, Anna started feeling deep remorse for her former selfishness and willfulness, and for the idleness since her arrival. She felt ashamed of it. She made dinner and brought it to Walter's studio, only to find Walter had dozed off, slumped over his desk from exhaustion. The dim lamplight softly illuminated his face. For the first time, Anna, standing so close, she could feel his presence. She gazed at Walter's densely covered manuscripts. Even though the symbols were all beyond her comprehension, she had already felt it, the emotions that Walter had poured into them. Anna carefully woke Walter up, in an attempt to learn about his work, to mend their relationship. But Walter was in no mood to explain anything to her. Facing Anna's sincere apology, "He keeps ignoring me completely," Anna tried to explain herself, but she was left speechless, could only retreat to the room and silently weep. Walt lingered outside the door for a long time, but ultimately, he couldn't bring himself to push the door open. His love hadn't entirely died yet, but at this moment, he found it hard to express it. After idling away a few more days in vain, Anna really couldn't bear it any longer, endure being so useless to herself. She went to the orphanage, implored the director to let her stay and help, to find some meaning in life for herself. After that, she clumsily began to learn how to change baby diapers. She taught children to play the piano and to dance. As days went by, in this place where day after day passed, Anna's heart, once adrift in a world of vanity and show, gradually grew serene, revealing a clarity born of having shed all earthly embellishments. Those eyes, once blinded by the flash of vanity, gradually became filled by that quiet, yet hard-working husband who toiled day after day. Walter, too, noticed the change in his wife. When he saw Anna surrounded by a group of angelic children, her entire being radiating a soft glow, Walter, standing outside the door, was transfixed by the sight. In the familiar piano melody Anna played, Walter realized that his fierce hatred all originated from an even deeper love, and that once shallow and ignorant, the once arrogant and willful Anna is no more. He had originally assumed that this journey to the Maiden mansion was meant to be a punishment for Anna, but little did he know, in the end, it became a banishment for both. That evening, after tormenting each other for so long, the two sat together in silence, pouring out their hearts. Anna spoke matter-of-factly about the daily routine at the convent. They praised the nuns for their greatness. Then they also praised Walter for his nobility and selflessness. Upon hearing this, Walter was quite surprised. Even with his head lowered, he still could not conceal the happiness inside. Anna then brought up their first date. Walter back then was just as dull as he is now. In romantic Venice, he just dragged Anna through the dull galleries, rambling on and on about the canal's wonders and its drainage system. Actually, Anna was extremely bored at first. Hearing Anna's complaints, Walter burst out laughing. He suddenly realized the source of their disagreement, the crux of the problem. They had always been seeking the qualities the other lacked, but they failed to appreciate the strengths they already saw in each other. With a smile exchanged between them, the thick ice that had stood between them melted away silently. In the days that followed, Walter discovered the origin of the virus outbreak. The villagers believed the riverbank of the town was considered an auspicious site. Therefore, they buried all the cholera victims there. As a result, the virus polluted the whole river. Following Walter's advice, the military sealed off the potentially contaminated water sources in the town and started forcibly evacuating villagers from their homes. In accordance with local customs, the bodies remained in place for 7 days. Although these measures brought the epidemic under significant control, they still sparked anger among the villagers. Instead, they began to act in desperation, in response to these foreigners who were offering their advice. On this day, Anna went out alone. Suddenly, a group of angry young people surrounded and cornered her. Fortunately, at the critical moment, Walter showed up just in time and rescued Anna from the situation. Through this incident, they both acknowledged their true feelings. Their eyes overflowed with unspoken love for each other. This night, they made tender love to each other. It was even sweeter than their wedding night. In the days that followed, Walter began to allow Anna into his work and personal life. He would take Anna to visit the water wheel project he was preparing and would go boating on the lake with Anna amid the clear spring waters. She gazed at him. He takes her hand, a glance that lasts a lifetime. Despite all the past misunderstandings and pain, now they are all gently soothed by the vastness of the world. From this moment on, they embody the truest form of love. But happiness is short-lived. An unexpected incident casts a shadow over them. Anna faints and is diagnosed as 2 months pregnant. But based on the timeline, Anna is unaware of this child. Whether this child is the shackle of her guilt or the fruit of love, Walter learned the news. He immediately rushed home. He inquired with concern about Anna's health. Anna felt ashamed and anxious. She knew that Walter just wanted a white lie, yet she lacked the courage to disappoint and deceive him again. From that moment on, Anna completely unveiled her innermost feelings, laid bare her fervent true heart. Just as Walter's water plan was accomplished, when everything was heading in a positive direction, then the unexpected struck again. Refugees downstream, infected with cholera, flocked to Maiden Prefecture seeking treatment. To prevent the epidemic from spreading, the local army set up refugee camps outside the city. This made Walter's mission even more arduous. He shuttled between the town and the camps every day. He didn't even have time to go home. Anna had trouble sleeping for days on end. She kept waiting for any word from Walter, but the news she received was devastating. One night, the adjutant rushed in to inform him that Walter had tragically contracted cholera. He was about to leave the world soon. In his final moments, he just wanted to see Anna one last time. Anna rushed to his bedside despite all odds. Walter's face was sallow and waxen, and 4 drip was still attached to his wrist. Anna was overcome with despair. She clutched Walter's hand tightly, as if clinging to a light that was about to be extinguished too soon. After a night of agonizing struggle, Walt knows his days are numbered. He gently asks Anna to bring the lamp. He wants to see his beloved's face one last time. In the glow of the lamp, Walt remains silent for a long while. He recalls their earlier trip to Venice. If only he could. He wishes he could take him to Venice one more time. This time he won't be so absorbed in explaining the drainage system to him, discuss those dull and uninteresting subjects. Instead, he would keep him company, enjoy the sound of rain while playing cards, watch a play. Unfortunately, it's too late for all of it. With those words, Walter's bright blue eyes slowly dimmed. Anna couldn't believe her eyes. They had only just started. There were still so many things left undone. She would lose him. If only they had more time. If only she had loved him more. What a pity. But there are no ifs when daylight comes. Anna stumbled out of the ward, utterly devastated. To be on the safe side, everyone insisted that the body be laid to rest without delay. Watching as Walter's body was slowly covered by the yellow soil, Anna was completely numb, devoid of any sensation, until he came back to that shabby wooden cabin. When sorting through the belongings Walter had left behind, seeing the very pages he had once flipped through, feeling the traces he had left behind, Anna's tears finally welled up and poured down. She knew the one who loved her was never coming back. On her way back, Anna took a water route, a path different from the one she had taken before, and the man who loved her, forever laid to rest in a foreign land. Years later, in London, after the glory fades, life is but a dream. Anna, with her 5-year-old son, appears at the flower shop where she and Walter had their first date. He asks his son, "What do you think of these flowers?" Anna never used to buy flowers. She thinks caring for things that are destined to wither is quite foolish, but now she smiles and agrees with her son's remark about flowers. Flowers are like love. They may be lost. Does that mean we shouldn't love? As she walks out of the flower shop, he runs into Tang Sang on the street, facing this man who still possesses grace and charm, and his heart no longer fluttered with anxiety. After a brief exchange, she said goodbye, but Tang Sang suddenly called her back. He conveyed his wish to pick up where they left off. Having known the best, nothing else compares. Except those over Mount Wu, no clouds match. With that, Anna turned around gracefully. Her posture was resolute and calm. On the way back, the son curiously asked who that person was. Anna just said in a flat tone, "It's nobody, dear." The love between Walter and Anna, like a misty veil over the mountains and waters of Guangxi. One cannot see its true face, only because one is in the midst of it. Walter once said, "As things stand now, nothing matters anymore." Anna used to think that, to painstakingly care for the fragile things that are destined to wither. Flowers are a foolish thing to care for. It's true that flowers wilt so easily. Yet once you've savored their fragrance, witnessed their radiant bloom, they will remain forever vivid in memory, never to fade away. Just like Walter, who is now gone, it will forever dwell in Anna's heart. It dwells in the depths of its soul. It lies in the warmth of its memory. It leaves a lifelong longing that is uniquely hers to stay with her forever.